Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a story called The Dirty Window. It starts out with a pretty mundane morning routine, but it quickly reveals this profoundly life-changing lesson about human nature and our hidden biases. So let's just jump right in and unpack a narrative that might honestly change the way you see the world.
Picture this. We've got an excited husband and wife who have just moved into a brand new house. You know that amazing new house feeling, right? Everything is fresh, everything's full of possibility, and they are just absolutely thrilled about their new life together. It's a lovely spot, and right across the way is another house where a woman is often out doing her daily chores. So the very next morning after moving in, the couple sits down to enjoy breakfast by their window, just taking in their brand new view.
But this idyllic morning takes a bit of a turn. While they're eating, the wife looks out and spots her new neighbor hanging laundry out to dry. And her immediate reaction? Pure judgment. She turns to her husband and says, "It seems she doesn't know how to wash clothes. Look how dirty they are." And then she actually laughs at her neighbor's laundry skills. Without even a second thought, she just completely writes off this woman based on a single glance. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Look at the husband's reaction, or actually his total lack of one. He's sitting right there. He hears his wife mocking the neighbor. He hears the laugh. But he chooses to stay completely silent. He just quietly listens. He doesn't agree. He doesn't disagree. He literally just lets the comment hang there in the air. And this perfectly shows how fast a casual judgment turns into a deeply hardened habit. Because this wasn't just a one-off thing. Oh no. This goes on for an entire month. Every couple of days, like clockwork, out comes the neighbor to hang her laundry, and the wife repeats the exact same criticism. She's saying things like, "What's the point of her even washing clothes? There's a proper way to do it." Every single time, she laughs. And every single time, the husband just sits there, quietly taking it all in. Okay, so a whole month slowly ticks by. It's just another average morning, they're having breakfast, and the wife casually glances out the window, fully expecting to see the same dismal laundry situation. But she does a total double take. She is completely caught off guard. The clothes on that line aren't dirty at all. They are sparkling, bright, and perfectly clean. And the wife's reaction here is incredibly telling. Does she stop and question her past judgment? Not a chance. She instantly assumes victory. She says, "Looks like she finally learned how to wash clothes. I wonder who taught her." She's just totally smug about it. In her mind, her first assessment was 100% right. The neighbor was clearly the problem, and someone else must have finally stepped in to fix her bad habits. But here's where the entire story flips upside down. The husband gives a slight smile, looks right at her, and drops this bombshell. "Probably no one. I woke up early today and cleaned our window gloss." Just let that sink in for a second. The neighbor hadn't changed her detergent, she hadn't taken a laundry masterclass, the husband had literally just wiped away the grime that was messing up their own view. Imagine the silence in that room. Upon hearing this, the wife is just utterly stunned. It hits her like a ton of bricks. The problem was never the neighbor's clothes. The problem was never the neighbor's hygiene. That dirt she was so hyper-focused on, the dirt she spent an entire month laughing at, was entirely on her own window. She'd been judging the outside world through a lens of her own filth. So what does all this actually mean for you and me? Because let's be real, this isn't just a quirky story about breakfast and laundry. It's a mirror held right up to human behavior. As we shift gears in this explainer, I really want you to think about this twist. How often are we that wife sitting at the table, completely convinced that the world outside is broken, without ever bothering to check our own glass? And that brings us to the absolute core of our source material. The dirty window is a metaphor for our own negative mindset. It stands for our biases, our prejudices, and that almost automatic tendency we have to judge others before we ever take a second to look in the mirror. The dirt on the glass, yeah, that's our own unchecked negativity, and it's filtering how we perceive every single interaction and every single person we cross paths with. Think about it. We spend so much of our precious energy, probably way too much, just looking for shortcomings in others. We're super eager to point out their mistakes, and we constantly underestimate the people around us. But as the source text powerfully points out, the hard truth is that a lot of times, the problem doesn't lie with them at all. The problem is the dirt on our own window. It's our own thoughts, our attitude, our perspective. So the crucial takeaway is that when you're looking through a dirty window of negativity, you're not just seeing flaws in everyone else. The source highlights an even deeper danger here. This negativity can grow so intensely that it actually clouds our view of ourselves, causing us to underestimate our own power and strengths. Just like a dirty pane of glass literally blocks out a beautiful sunny day, a negative mindset blacks out the good in people. It literally limits your entire reality. All right, so how do we actually fix this? Well, the source material gives us a very clear, actionable roadmap. If we truly want to grow, we have to stop trying to fix everyone else and start looking inward. Number one, clean your thinking. You've got to catch yourself when you're jumping to those snap judgments. Number two, improve your mindset. Try shifting from constant criticism to genuine curiosity. And number three, fix your habits. Make self-reflection a daily practice, just like cleaning a window. And here is the absolute best part, the ultimate reward for doing that hard internal work. The very moment you start working on yourself, the moment you finally wipe down your own psychological windows, the world around you instantly looks better. It's brighter, it's more positive, it's full of potential. You suddenly realize people aren't nearly as flawed as you thought. You were just looking at them through a lens that desperately needed a good scrubbing. As we wrap up this explainer, I've got a final, provocative thought to leave you with. Which window in your life needs cleaning today? Seriously, is there a coworker, a family member, or maybe a specific situation that you've been harshly judging? Before you criticize their laundry, take a moment to check your own glass. Because as the source narrative beautifully wraps up, have patience, be thankful, and keep moving forward. Clean your window and just watch the whole world change.